Alright, tonight, Carla, friends, family, and strangers who happen to stumble across my YouTube page. Tonight I'm making the Royal Wedding Breakfast Casserole. It has a history to it, and I'm about to show you how to make it. Hope you like this. Okay, getting started making the Royal Wedding Breakfast Casserole, and I'll explain the meaning behind that name in just a moment. We're going to need, well, first of all, I had to get the recipe. This is not my recipe. This recipe came from a friend of mine, Molly, that I taught with at Godly Station School. And when I found out I was going to be making a breakfast casserole for basically 100 people, I thought about Molly's recipe. So I sent her a message and she sent me back this lovely recipe. And I don't know if you can see that right there, but that's the entire recipe right there. It's pretty sparse. Not a lot of detail to it. And it basically reads: chives, 6 eggs, bacon, I'm using sausage instead, milk, 2 cups of sharp cheddar, crescent, salt, pepper, bake 350 for half an hour, covered. Well, I needed a little more directions than that, and I'm going to tweak Molly's recipe somewhat. So, we're going to need 6 eggs. I'm using sausage instead of bacon. I'm using regular sausage, not hot. If it were just for me, I'd be using hot sausage. But, oh well. I'm going to use some onion as an addition, some chives, bell pepper. This is a yellow bell pepper because I could not find a decent looking green bell pepper. This one comes with its own passport. It's from the Netherlands, so it's special. A little bit of milk. Going to add some sliced mushrooms to it. We need the cheese. I'm using a combination. I'm going to use some Monterey and some mild cheddar here. Need one of these Pillsbury's crescent rolls. A little salt. Faithful pepper grinder. And I'm going to add a little dash of cayenne just to put a little heat to it, not too much, since it's not just for me. So, let's get started. Okay, what I've done is I have basically cut up about 3/4 of a cup of the bell pepper, not 3/4 of a cup, but 3/4 of the bell pepper into a bowl. I chopped up my chives pretty finely there, and now I'm going to cut up the onion, and I'm only using half the onion here because I've already got chives in it. So, oh, and I did put 6 eggs. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 eggs in a bowl for just a moment. I'm going to take the onion here, and I'm just going to cut it up really, really finely because I don't want big honking chunks of onion in this. See if I can do this without making a huge mess. Might even go with less than half an onion, depending on how much this creates as I cut it up. Trying not to cut myself in the process. Which I'm pretty good at. That looks pretty good. The reason I want small pieces is basically it's a breakfast casserole, and I don't think you want to bite into a huge chunk of onion, even if it is cooked. Mixed in, I kind of want it in small pieces. Let's go with that. Do the other half here. Again, finely mincing the onion. And Molly, who created this recipe, or actually this recipe was given to her by someone else, but she passed the recipe along to me. My apologies for tweaking it, but when I was told I was going to cook this breakfast casserole for work, I was told I was going to do the vegetable version, which means it's going to have vegetables in it, and someone else at work is going to do the non-vegetable version. In other words, the Joseph version without veggies in it. So I had to come up with something to add into it. I had several options thinking if it were for me, I would have put asparagus in this because I love asparagus, but some people don't like asparagus, so I'm not going to do that. Spinach is another possibility that you could add to it. Alright, so I've got that finally chopped up. Let's see if I can get this in the bowl. Might need a little helper here. Let's see. Let's scoop this up. Yeah, that works. Okay. Alright, that's probably good. Alright. So, there's the bell pepper, chives, and onion. And put the cutting board aside for a bit. Set the bowl aside for a bit. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the sausage. So that's up next, and then we'll take the sausage, the veggies, which I'm also going to cook, and then add them into the eggs, and then we'll make the casserole. Alright, a little change of scenery here. I'm now going to cook the sausage, and I've got it in a medium pan. I'm going to break it up into pieces as this cooks. And while I'm doing this, I will tell you the story behind the Royal Wedding Breakfast Casserole. It all started back before I retired from teaching, when I was teaching at Godley Station School, like the best school ever. There was the royal wedding between Prince William and Catherine Middleton, and the ladies on the team wanted to watch it. And of course, because England is, roughly 6 hours ahead of us time-wise, when they do things in the daytime, it means it's like early morning for us. So we decided that we would do breakfast and watch it in my room. They always use my room for food events, which we did a lot of food events in my room, because I had the science lab, so I had this big flat lab counter on the front, and flat tables, and beautiful LCD projection TV thing on the screen. So we had big screen TV, LCD. It was fantastic. And so we decided we'd do breakfast and watch the royal wedding in my room, and it would all happen before the kids ever arrived to school. So we were deciding what to bring, and my friend Molly, who taught language arts, she's now quit teaching, and she's now a stay-at-home mommy. She has the most beautiful kids ever. Should be a sin for anyone to have kids as beautiful as she and Craig have, but they are absolutely gorgeous kids. So Molly decided she was going to bring her breakfast casserole, and that's where this all originated from, and that's why we call it the Royal Wedding Breakfast Casserole, because this is what Molly brought while we were watching the royal wedding. And I'm trying to think what I brought. I think I brought orange juice for the event. I think Leanne probably brought muffins, because Leanne was the muffin queen. She didn't make them, she bought them and brought them in. I don't remember where she got them from, but they were fantastic. Always got the chocolate. No, blueberry. I got blueberry. That's right. Little place she got on her way into work. Had the best muffins, huge muffins, and learned to make me muffins one day. So that's where the Royal Wedding Breakfast Casserole came from, and Molly used to laugh. Well, that's not the name of it, but that's what we refer to it ever since then. So Molly brought the casserole, Leanne brought muffins, Billy and I took care of the drinks, which in our case was orange juice. We did send an email to the principal inviting her to the event in my room, and told her that Billy and I were going to bring special orange juice. And she sent an email back. She said, orange juice, yes. Special, no. So I guess there was not going to be any special orange juice that morning because it was a school day. But we were just kind of joking around with that. But anyway, that's where the name actually came from. So anyway, going to brown the sausage here. Turn the heat back up a little bit now. And like I said, the original recipe that Molly sent me called for bacon. but she used sausage, and that's what I'm going to use. Actually, I think I prefer sausage in this casserole anyway. Don't eat sausage very often, so it's kind of a special event. While that is cooking, I'm going to add a little dash of cayenne to it. Not a whole lot. Ooh, forgot this doesn't have a shaker top on it. That could be embarrassing. I want a little bit of spiciness, but not like super hot, so let's see if we can do that. Touch of cayenne. Maybe a little bit more. So that's probably maybe half a teaspoon of cayenne that's going to go into this whole casserole. And if I were using the hot sausage that I would do for myself, I wouldn't need the cayenne because the sausage would be spicy. So I wouldn't need that. But since I'm not, I'm just going to add a little bit of heat to it. I don't want it too hot because it's going to get served to other people that I don't know what their food tastes are, so I want to keep it mild as possible. Ah, it smells like sausage. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Again, just kind of breaking it up into little bits and pieces. Dogs in the background there. Making sure I don't drop anything. Alright, so we're going to let that cook for a few minutes, and then I'll be back, and then we will saute our veggies, and then we will assemble our casserole. Alright, my sausage is about done now, so now it is time to move on. So basically I'm going to drain my sausage, and by that what I'm doing, I've got a colander sitting over a bowl because I'm not pouring this grease down the sink. I'm just going to put this in the colander and let the grease go into the bowl. And I'm not going to wipe the pan, well, I'll wipe the outside of the pan down quickly. I don't want hot grease on the stovetop, but okay, there we go. So sausage is draining. Now with a little bit is left in there, I'm going to add my veggies to it. So I'm going to add the onion, bell pepper, and chives. And I'm doing this because I don't want someone to bite into raw veggies in the casserole. I know it's going to bake for 30 minutes, but I don't want to run the risk of someone biting into raw onion or something like that. So I've got those going. I'm going to drain these mushrooms real quick. Add those to the mix. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to use a different spoon since I used that with the sausage. I'm just going to saute these a bit, make sure the onion, basically the onion gets done so it's not raw onion. You gotta love non-stick pans. Basically, I'm just using what little bit of grease there was left after the sausage just to do this. I'm not going to add any extra oil or anything like that. I'm going to cook that basically till the onion becomes transparent. And you can see my sausage is draining nicely over there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice little puddle of grease there from the sausage. So that way I don't wind up with the greasy casserole, because I want to avoid that. Alright, while those are going, I'm going to go ahead and take the eggs. Got the 6 eggs here, and I'm just going to whip these up a little bit. I'm not going to turn it into a I don't want a frothy mess here, because I'm not making egg souffle. I just want the eggs to get like you do with scrambled eggs, basically. Just mix those in, whip them up a little bit. And then the veggies and the sausage and all this is going to get added to it. So give that a little whisk, not too much. Yeah, that should be good right there. And to this, while it's cooking, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk to the eggs. Alright, so there's the milk and eggs, and then again just kind of stir that around a little bit. Get them mixed in like that. Perfect. Okay, so eggs are ready, and stir my veggies around a bit. Actually smells really good. Alright, just a little bit more in the veggies so the onions become transparent, and then we will start putting it all into the casserole dish. So, be right back. Alright, veggies are finishing up. Now I'm going to take the crescent rolls, the package, and I did question Molly about this, and she said it was to be uncooked. So, Molly, I hope you're right. Boy, these things are sticky. I'm going to find the end of this thing. Basically, you roll this out at the bottom of the pan, and she did not say whether or not to use an ungreased pan or not. So I did not grease this. It is a non-stick pan, however, so hoping for the best here. So rolling that out into my pan. That actually, oh, that fits perfectly. Sweet. Okay. So there's the crescent roll. Let's straighten that up a little bit. There we go. Alright. Basically into the pan. I'm trying to even that out a little bit. Alright. Yeah. Let me wipe my hands off. To the egg mixture, I need to add 2 cups of cheese, and I left my big measuring cup up here. So, and I'm also going to add a little pepper to it. A little bit of salt. I don't know how much salt. Recipe didn't say. I'm winging it here. And I do well. I'd rather have not enough salt in something than too much salt, because too much salt, you can't undo that. So, alright, so a little bit of salt and pepper there. Alright, I'm going to go with, again, here's another case of Mark not opening packages before he starts the video. Let's cut this open. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to do 1 cup of the, this is actually mild cheddar. You could use sharp cheddar if you want to. It calls for 2 cups of cheese, so. Mix in. What? Oh, the dog heard cheese. Good Lord. Hey dog, how are you? Alright, so 1 cup of the mild cheddar going into the blend, and then 1 cup of the Monterey into the blend. see my dog's face right now. It's just, it's so sad. She hears cheese. She smells cheese. She's not getting any cheese at the moment. Oh well. All right. So, a cup of the Monterey into it. Mix that in. That looks like a big gloppy mess, but that's okay. Now I'm going to add to that the veggies. They should be done. Yeah, I'm making a huge mess, but again, that's me. That's what I'm good at. So, all right, there we go. Actually, it's okay. Some of those go in the pan because that's where they're going to end up anyway. All right. That, and now I'm going to take my sausage. It's been drained. I'm going to add that into the mix. There we go. All right. You are definitely not getting any sausage, dog. Promise. All right. So now I'm going to get this all mixed up pretty well with the egg and the veggies. Spoon would probably do me better here. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just going to spoon this over the top. Try to get everything mixed in together there. And kind of evened out somewhat. There we go. All right. Now, we need to cover this, and it's going to go into the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. So we cover it. Like a pro. All right. And into the oven. Okay, 30 minutes later, this is the finished product. Nice and cooked. Notice the croissant parts have puffed up nicely. Got the sausage, the chives, all that blended in well. And time to put this on a plate and see how it tastes. All right, it is all ready to go on the plate. Let me grab a fork here. And you can see it's got the croissants, the sausage, the mushrooms, the nice melty cheese. I gotta give this a taste, just because. Wow. Yeah, that's the winner right there. That is excellent. So, Carla, enjoy making this in memory of the royal wedding. Molly, thank you for sharing your recipe with me. And everyone else, hope you enjoyed this. It is really, really good. Again, if you don't want to do the vegetable version, leave the veggies out and just do the regular version, the way Molly sent it to me. But this is really good. Not just for breakfast, you could have this for any meal of the day. So, hope you like this one.